I'm very much enjoying the Cam Newton post-game conference trail this season. Brian Westbrook is joining us now. Brian, good morning. It's crazy to believe, but mathematically, the Patriots could still get into the playoffs. Do you think a win like last night could help kickstart that playoff run for them?
Well, if you're on the Patriots and you only have won 2 games coming into last night's game, you will use anything to kind of kickstart your season, even a win versus a winless football team. But when you watch that Patriots team, they're not a playoff football team. They're not a team that can go to the playoffs and possibly win a game. They're not a team that, even when you look at their schedule, and they got tough games coming up. As I look at the next 8 games, they have 3 wins. The Texans, maybe. The Chargers, maybe, and the Jets, maybe. Those are all maybes. All the other games, to me, as I watch them, are going to be losses. This is the thing. When they'll lose to the Dolphins as well. Brian Flores and Tua have looked good. But, you know, Kevin, here's the issue for the Patriots. Offensively, Cam Newton doesn't want to put their team in any type of bad situation, so he's only throwing the ball short. And that's ball control, and that can work in certain situations. But if you're playing against a team that can put up points, that's not going to work. And defensively, you allow the Jets, the winless Jets, to put up 27 points against you with Joe Flacco and Frank Gore, Rashad Perryman. 2 of those guys were playing when I played, and they were in their prime when I played, and I retired 10 years ago. That's how bad the Jets' offense is, and they were able to put up 27 points against the Patriots, a defense who last year was one of the best in the league. It's unfortunate, but the Patriots are just not a very good football team.
So here's the thing, and I think Brian got to it somewhat with the schedule. Can we put up the the Patriots and Bills schedule side by side? I apologize, I didn't tell our producers I wanted to do this, but I think we can do that. So before the season, I thought the Patriots could win their final 6 games. I thought they'd start 4-6 and finish 10-6, but things have changed. The Cardinals are better than I thought they would be, and the Rams are better than I thought they would be. Now, we should note those 2 games in Los Angeles on the Patriots side before we get to the Bills side. It's a Sunday and then a Thursday, so they're playing the Rams on a short week, but the Patriots are already in L.A., and the Rams are traveling back to L.A. So it's the weird situation where the team on the short week on a Thursday is actually the home team, or the shorter week. But I think the Patriots max out at 9 wins. So the question then becomes, are the Bills going to go better than 2-5 down the stretch? I think the Bills are going to lose this week. I think they'll lose to the Steelers. And let's, for the sake of this discussion, say they're going to lose to the Patriots. Are there 2 more losses on that schedule for the Bills? And then you hope Miami doesn't ruin everything by continuing to play really well with Tua. So, Brandon, I don't think it's dead, but the Patriots are in a very uncomfortable position now where they are relying on the failures of other teams for their own season to be successful. It's no longer just take care of your business. It's take care of your business and hope that the Bills fall apart and Miami plays around 500 football. It's a situation they haven't been in as a team since the Matt Castle season.
Yeah, I'll cut the TV talk, Nick, and get straight to it. They have no chance. Okay. They're sitting here at 3-5. They can easily, you guys can easily be 6-2, but that's not the case. Right now, you guys are in a terrible situation. Yeah, they expanded the playoffs. You got 7 teams that can get in now. But when you look at the AFC and how it's set up, they have no chance. And all the blame goes on Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft. They did not do a good job of putting this team in position to win. Now, Cam Newton played bad the last couple of weeks, and he finally got back on track. You can't win the game. You can't win games turning the ball over the way they did the last couple games. But at the same time, when you look around, who's the wide receivers? Who's the tight end? I don't know what Izzo has done in this league. Who? Tell me what guy threatens anybody. What guy's going to draw double coverage? What guy's going to draw cover 2? Well, no one's going to demand any type of attention. They don't have the players that they need to get the job done. This is a personnel issue. Obviously, we know from an X's and O's standpoint, Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels, great. Look how they won the game last night. It was awesome. A screen here, a draw there. They throw an in cut. and then they kick a field goal. Great job of clock management towards the end, but they need the guys that can win against the good teams.
Okay, Katana, can we put everybody on the screen for a second just so I can look in everyone's eyes as they throw daggers at my Patriots? And Brian, do you want me to be happy, honestly? Because I felt great last night. You know what? I haven't cared about a Week 9 game since I was in high school. The Patriots have been so good. And we won the game. And then you come on saying, they're still bad. You're not going to steal my joy, Brian Westbrook. We've only won 3 games, and this was one of them. Do we have a chance? Maybe, maybe not. But now it's must win. It's like a conference tournament. We got to win everything just to make it to the big dance. So, Jenna, even though we beat the winless Jets, I'm overjoyed like it was a playoff victory.
All right, we're going to table your joy for just a second to talk about those winless Jets. Joe Flacco, who was in for Sam Darnold last night, almost won this game for New York. Although Jets fans probably happy with the end result because it's, one step closer to possibly landing Trevor. Jets now the only winless team, followed by Jacksonville at 1-7. Then you got that NFC East contingent of Cowboys, Giants, and Washington. There it is at 2 wins, rounding out the top 5. Brian Westbrook, should Jets fans be happy with the loss last night? It's a weird question, but should they be?
Absolutely, they should be happy. The goal for the Jets is to get the #1 pick in the draft. And last night, actually, even though the game was close, even though they looked like they were going to win, even up to the 6th minute mark, they looked like they still were in the lead, had a chance to win the game. The goal is to lose because you want to get Trevor Lawrence. You want to have that first draft pick, and you want to have options, even if you don't go and get a quarterback. And so they got a little bit closer to their ultimate goal, which is to lose and to try to get that first draft pick overall. You have to understand, the Jets are in a total rebuild. They're going to more than likely get a new coach. They're probably going to get the #1 draft pick. And this is what they're also trying to do. And this is what happens with team rebuilding. They also are trying to see what players that they have on their current roster that they can use in the years moving forward. And last night we saw two receivers, Brashad Perryman as well as Denzel Mims, have pretty decent games against a decent Patriots football team. And those are guys that you can build with in the future. And so, they achieved one goal. Yes. They lost getting closer to the #1 pick. The other goal is that they at least found a couple receivers that could potentially help them in the future.
Jets definitely, building for the future smartly long-term by playing Joe Flacco and Frank Gore in prominent snaps throughout the season. I mean, it's just brilliant folks over in Orchard Park figuring out what to do with the Jets. It's just a disaster of an organization. We know this, and this is an unfair question because the question is, should Jets fans be happy? Jets fans are never happy. They're not happy people. That's why they're Jet fans. You don't get branded a sports fan when you're born. And in New York, you can pick one of 2 teams. People that choose to be Jets fans don't want to be happy. So even if they're going to be, we get Trevor Lawrence, they're not going to be happy. But I've got some reporting on the ground that I would like to let everybody know about. Just like I was the first person to tell you guys about the bubbling beef between Tom Brady and Chris Godwin. I've got sources telling me that Joe Flacco must really, really dislike Sam Darnold. Because not only did he make him look bad by playing so well yesterday, he also all but assured Darnold's going to lose his job by throwing that bomb at the end of the game and giving the game away. The only thing you can't do there, Flacco, is turn the ball over, and the Jets win. Maybe they get the 6th pick of the draft. Darnold keeps his job. Instead, he's like, nope, Darnold, you're going to be playing for somebody else next year because Trevor Lawrence is going to be here. So Flacco and Darnold, I think they got real beef. Jets fans in general, I don't think are going to be happy. And I do think Trevor Lawrence, I think the only person really unhappy this morning, Brandon, is Trevor Lawrence because he's going to end up wearing those uniforms.
Well, Trevor, listen, just come out and say it, man. You want to be a Jet. You love New York. It's going to be awesome for you. There's no bigger platform in the world. This is going to be good for you. As a competitor, why wouldn't you want to come and be the first quarterback that's led his team to victory since Joe Namath? Like, think about that. So, look, to answer the question, I don't understand it as a player. I never did. But now that I'm sitting here at a desk 100% the Jets fans are happy. We have a resident Jets fan right here, a producer, Sam Pepper, who woke up this morning and said, look, when I saw the score, I was happy. Sam was happy that this happened because he wants a quarterback. He doesn't care if it's the guy in Clemson or it's the guy in Ohio State. Just give me a quarterback finally. He has to hang his hat on Ryan Fitzpatrick and the butt fumble. So look, the Jets fans, because they're good fans, Nick, they are happy, and they want a quarterback for the first time in a very long time.
Okay. So the organization is dysfunctional. We know that. But I'm going to take it into another direction. The fact that we're having this conversation probably means that the NFL draft needs to move into some sort of lottery mode. You can't have the broadcast be saying do the Jets even want to win this game? It's just bad for the league. And we saw this kind of rear its head in Miami, and then Brian Flores started to win games, and it's like, what are they doing winning the game? It's just bad. It's just bad. So I think a straight win-loss record to draft position probably needs to change. So it's like, imagine if you did this. Hey, we're going to lock in the draft odds at week 9. Would the Jets play different from here on out? I think it just needs to, Nick, I think it needs to move around a little bit. I'm surprised it's not getting, there's not more activity or more of a push towards sort of reorganizing the NFL draft.
I think